like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Holy shit, guys. UFC 328 has ended. What a great card. Joshua Van is still the champion, and Sean Strickland and new. Now we have Sean Strickland winning again as a big underdog and becoming the champion again. This division has become very interesting. We're going to go ahead and recap some things. We'll talk about the full card, and we'll go over the fights and what happened in each fight and my thoughts. And also, before we start that, let's go ahead and go over the betting recap, because we did have some parlays that were posted in the last video that cashed. Now, here's the betting recap. The early confidence parlay cashed with ease. Then we had the early prelim parlay that cashed as well. Then we had a parlay of who I was confident in that cashed with ease. Also, the long shot parlay there, it didn't cash, but we were so close. We had Bobby Green by decision. Bobby Green goes out there and gets a submission, and I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. Now, I'm excited to go over the recap of this card, so let's go ahead and start on the first fight. This first fight was a good one. We had Clinton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa puts on a masterclass, wins by unanimous decision, winning all rounds. He was able to be dangerous on the feet and on the ground, and able to keep it on the feet where he wanted it. He was the more dangerous man this night. Clinton Carpenter showed his durability and showed that he can go in there against dangerous guys and still stay durable, but it wasn't enough for Ochoa, because Ochoa was able to easily get the win here. And the fight goes the distance as I predicted, so, that was a good one, and I'm proud of Ochoa, and I'm glad to see that he's still showing that he's top level, and I'm excited to see what's for him next. Now, I told you guys, this would not be no easy test for Chimaev. Chimaev was not able to get the early finish, but he did end up getting a finish in the third round, being the first one to get a win over Santos by finish. In the beginning, Santos was having some early success, causing damage around the eye of Chimaev. Chimaev continued to get caught by the jab, leaving his head right in the center. He did come out in the second round looking better, had more head movement, and was landing more shots and being more aggressive. And then he was able to get the job done in the third, landing more damaging shots, has some great counters, gets the back, and lands that rear naked choke. Now, I do worry for Chimaev in the future. In the future, I will be fading him against better competition, because he did struggle against a guy like Santos, who isn't a slouch, but hey, he's not the best skilled guy. He did lose a decision to Ozzy Diaz, so I mean, it's not really a good look. Now, very soon, Chimaev will be facing better competition, and that will be a spot where I'll be looking to fade him, because in that spot, in the very beginning of the fight, he did not look good, and if he faces better competition, he's going to have some problems. But all that matters is that Chimaev cashes my over 1.5 and also the money line in both the parlays I put him in. And guys, here's another fight that we perfectly predicted. I had Pat Sabatini confidently on the money line. Here, Gomes did get grapple fucked. Pat Sabatini pressured Gomes against the cage and got a lot of control time, smothering pressure. Although he was unsuccessful for the takedowns, he was 3 for 20. William Gomes still wasn't able to get going. Another unanimous decision for Pat Sabatini, as I predicted, and the Sabatini moneyline cashes with ease, even though it was a boring fight and he just hugged him the whole time. But a boring fight is exactly what I needed to cash Pat Sabatini's moneyline. Now, guys, I'm so excited that I was able to pick flip here. If you did watch my weigh-in recap video, you saw that I pick flipped to Kopylov, and Kopylov gets it done by unanimous decision. This motherfucker, Tulio, told Dumont that she was up 2 rounds her last fight, and I can never forget that. Tulio looked very goofy out there after getting caught and had no answer for Kopylov after the second round. Tulio does get the first round. Kopylov drops him bad in the second round. Kopylov does drop him again in the third round, but for some reason decides to engage in the grappling, which I honestly didn't get. It's kind of questionable, but he clearly wins round 2 and 3, and the fight does cash to go to the second round. And also, I was able to play Roman Kopylov moneyline, and that cashed as a dog. Man, Unk still got it. Jim Miller was able to get the first round guillotine here. Jared Gordon was unsuccessful. He went for the takedown like a moron, and he got submitted easily by Jim Miller. Jim Miller gets the performance of the night, dominating with the first round finish. And then after the fight, he goes over that his son recently beat cancer and his kids are in the crowd. It was a beautiful night for Jim Miller. Now, the downfall of Jared Gordon should be studied, because Jared Gordon was a favorite in his last 2 fights and got destroyed in both fights. Now, the IQ of Rebecca has to be investigated. Rebecca was clearly able to win the fight on the feet, but he decided, hey, the place where Grant Dawson has the only way to win, let me go ahead and engage there. He rocked him multiple times on the feet, but decided it was smart to shoot after. Dawson does get the first round by controlling, but Rebecca looks great in the second round. The momentum shifting his way. Then he comes out in the third round, lands another good shot, but then decides, you know what? Let me go ahead and engage exactly where Grant Dawson is good at. And he got controlled for the remainder of the round. Eventually, Dawson was able to punish him and then was able to get that rear naked choke in the third round right before the bell ends. Very impressive performance by Dawson as he's the first one to submit Rebecca. The welterweight division better have his eyes on Amosov because Amosov is a problem. Amosov was able to control this fight completely with the wrestling, completely dominating Joel Alvarez. Eventually, in the second round, he decided it was his time to get the finish, to where at ease, he was able to take Joel Alvarez down again and easily get the submission. Now, Joel Alvarez did come into this fight with 17 submission wins, never losing by submission. So it's very impressive how Amosov made it look so easy. I'm super excited to see what they do with Amosov next. He definitely deserves somebody in the top 10 or even in the top 5. I'm excited to see who they match him up with next. We did have Amosov moneyline as a play in our last video, and that does cash with ease. Now, next up, we had Atepa Gutierrez versus Ozzy Diaz. And I told you guys, this is a very confident play here. Gutierrez by knockout. He did get it in the second round. Gutierrez does come out very patient. Ozzy does show some good defense and is able to have some minor success slowing him down with the clinch. In the second round, Gutierrez comes out very hot, landing a beautiful KO shot and putting Diaz to bed. As expected, Gutierrez moneyline cashes, but the first round KO doesn't. As Gutierrez shows to be patient in the first round and still shows that in the second round he still possesses the same power. And holy shit, guys, for this main card opener, we did have a Bobby Green masterclass, or should I say King Green. King Green gets the first round stoppage. He hurts Stevens bad on the feet, eventually gets to the ground where he's able to get the first round sub. Did you expect that? I did not expect that shit. I completely thought that he would get like a decision or even get a KO in the later rounds. But hey, Bobby Green was able to go out there in the first round, completely show that he's more powerful on the feet and on the ground, and locks in a beautiful submission. Jeremy Stevens is a bare-knuckle boxer. He is not an MMA fighter. Jeremy Stevens, especially after missing weight, 100% should be cut. He's not even PFL level. Now, things get interesting here, as right before the fight, Buckley switches from being a plus 150 all the way down to a minus 230 favorite. And this shows that even though that flipped, it doesn't fucking matter, because Buckley has no damn takedown defense. He was completely dominated for 3 rounds, and even though he competed in RAF, was going with Kamaru Usman to get tips on his flaws, he still showed that he can lay on his back for 3 rounds and get completely dominated. Sean Brady did land some pitter-patter shots on the top and was able to threat some submissions, but easily dominated Buckley. I don't know what's next for Buckley. And I'm pissed off because I have his merch and I went to 2 of his main events against Colby Covington and against Usman. So I'm a huge fan, but he got 30-25, and that is wild. Now, next up, we did have Volkov versus Acosta. And here I did play Acosta as my dog of the night, and Costa unfortunately was not able to get it done. Costa did show some aggression in this fight, but if you do look at the stats, Volkov did land more shots pretty much in every round. Volkov was able to stay on the outside and stay safe and stay away from the swinging wild shots of Costa. Costa was able to land a lot of damage though on Volkov. And here, the crowd did feel like Waldo Acosta did win that fight. And I see why, He was the one that was pushing the pressure. Volkov was kind of running away from a fight, kind of throwing these leg kicks over and over again. But I guess it was enough for the judges on the scorecard. Because for some damn reason, all 3 judges give the fight to Volkov. Even one judge says that it's 30-27. Now, holy shit, guys. This here was a great fight. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. In the first round, Tower was looking very good. In the second round, Joshua came out very hot and was even able to drop Tower, so he took that round. Third round, Joshua Van looked really good and was able to stop the takedown. Tower showed some damage and was panic shooting. Joshua does hurt him bad and drops him again and lands his own takedown and even goes for the rear naked choke. Even though he's unsuccessful there, he shows that he's not scared to go down there against a grappler and he lets Tower back up. Van is able to get it up on the feet and shows some toughness there from Tyra. And with 30 seconds left, Tyra is able to get some control against the cage. But then he gets the takedown and Van gets right up to his feet. Van wins that round as well. In the fourth round, things get very interesting because Van comes out and is engaging in the striking with Tyra. And Tyra catches him with a very good calf kick. Tyra uses the momentum to get a takedown on Van to where he gets a lot of control at the top for that fourth round. But Tyra does go for a submission to where he loses his position and Josh's Van is able to get it back on the feet. And they separate. Tyra does shoot another takedown, gets some control time against the cage. They separate again, but then the round ends and Tyra wins that round. Now things get very interested here because on my scorecard, I had the fight 2-2 going into the fifth. Now, Joshua Van does what he does best, comes out in the fifth, very aggressive. Both guys are on the feet. Tyra does shoot some takedowns, but he's very unsuccessful there. Van does land some beautiful shots to the body, upstairs, downstairs combination, and gets the standing TKO. The ref stops the fight, and Joshua Van is still the champion. Now, I want to know in the comments below, do you guys think that in the rematch, Van beats Pantoja? Now, the main event got very interesting. The most interesting fight of the night. A very close main event. Strickland is him. Strickland was able to neutralize the sub-threats and the wrestling from Khamzat. After the first strong round, Strickland turns it up for the next 2 rounds and has some successful striking, takedown defense, and also top control. In the fourth round, Khamzat clearly comes out with a better game plan, landing some takedowns, getting some top control, and clearly winning on all 3 judges' scorecards for that round. Now, this is another fight that was 2-2 going into the fifth, and the fifth round was an all-out war. Khamzat was unable to be successful with the control. Strickland was able to not allow Khamzat to get his game going and landed more strikes on the feet. Both guys landed great damage on each other's face. I had Strickland winning that fifth round, and so did 2 out of 3 judges. And new champion again, Sean Strickland. Now, I hope my YouTube family enjoyed the card like I did because that was a banger card. I'm super excited to get into next week. Next week, we have Allen versus Costa, and this is going to be a banger. Even though this fight is in the Apex, we have some very interesting bouts on it, and that'll be in my next video. Now, thank you, YouTube family, for hanging out with me, being here with me for UFC 328. I'm excited for this YouTube channel to blow up, and I'll see y'all for the next card. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channels.